Fresh in the gate, bag gear, blank slate. You and your Illuvials, hungry, not great. Boots on the stone, hands on the rail. First slam in the arena, first hard fail. They read your move, then broke your line. One clean strike and you fell every time. Dust on your face, grin still alive. You said run it back just to survive. Round after round you stayed in the fire. Every scar taught you higher, higher. You learned their feints, their breath, their pace. You learned how to lose without losing your place. Round after round you rise. Round after round you rise. They knocked you down, you got back up. Now you drink that pain like a champion cup. Round after round you rise. Round after round you rise. From the floor to the crown, you don't stay down. New scars stacked up on your name. Bad brackets, bad draws, same old shame. Your alluvial shook, then stood again. Little by little they learned to win. One move left when the trap got set. One took the hit, never blinked yet. You stopped chasing glory, started to build. Slow hand, sharp heart, iron will. And after round you stayed in the fire. Every fall turned to spark a little brighter. You learned their feints, their breath, their pace. You learned how to lose without losing your place. Round after round you rise. Round after round you rise. They knocked you down, you got back up. Now you drink that pain like a champion cup. Round after round you rise. Round after round you rise. From the floor to the crown, you don't stay down. Long nights, long walks back, salt in your mouth, cracks in the track. Then one clean break, one perfect call. Your team moved like one and they took it all. No more panic, no more please, just calm in the blaze, eyes on the keys. The crowd went wild when your name hit high. You looked at the ring like, this is mine, mine, mine. This is mine, 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 mine. Round after round you rise. Round after round you rise. They knocked you down, you got back up. Now you drink that pain like a champion cup. Round after round you rise. Round after round you rise. From the floor to the crown, you don't stay down. Champion, no, you rise. Champion, now, you rise. The bruises were proof you came through. tonight.
All right, hello, welcome everybody. Getting back onto the stream here in just a second's time. Bear with me, a little bit of in a rush here today to get into the swing of things. But we have ourselves another fantastic day of streaming. Coming through in the Illuvium Arena once again. This will be a good one. A little bit of a slower paced day in regards to the amount of topics, but that's a-okay. What we've got going on today will be specifically dedicated, of course, to ranking up. I'm pretty happy that just last night the rewards did come on out from leaderboards, and I was able to make the top 30. So I was able to essentially get my 600% experience boost essentially refunded, and I can then get it for another week. And hopefully I can keep that up, because that's making it very, very nice for me. Of course, good to see everybody in the chat. Not showing up here currently in the box. I'm fixing that as we speak, but good to see you there. Big Man JB, Blazin, Jacob Wodek. Did I miss anybody else? Nope, looks like we're all good there. And we're good to go. I'll be hopping into the arena nice and quick. Don't want to waste much time here today. And while Monday had a little bit, or was it Monday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. Tuesday had a bit of a theme to it where it was centered around Rota, Gyro, Revo, or different order, but you know what I mean. Today is a little bit more open. If I see the opportunity to go for certain teams that will level me up, then sure, I'll go for it. But that's not going to be the end-all, be-all. If I, like, say, for example, if I have a rogue team, for example, where nobody else is picking it, and say my Scions are contested or something along those lines, okay, sure, I'll go Rogue. Or Inferno Arcanite or something along those lines. So it's not going to be a dedicated Invoker stream by any means, but obviously that is my main, so to speak, so it'll be fun nonetheless. Queuing up right here, right now. I know the queues have been a little bit slower as of late, but a big portion of that, of course, has to do with the fact that there is separated queues now for the newcomer queue alongside the standard ranked queue. So it is, on occasion, a little bit of a longer queue up, but that is a-okay if it means that I'm not killing a newcomer to the point where, like, it can make them contemplate playing this game ever again. Then by all means, I will wait. Hector, good to see you. I hope you have a fantastic day as well. Thank you for the Illuvials as well. I do have them implemented now onto the team planner. I have a little bit of leveling to do for a Lynx and a Gyro now. This second Lynx that I'm going to be leveling, I got it onto the battlefield a few times today, so it's no longer level 1, but a nice 90 plus TPI Lynx coming my way thanks to Hector. And of course we saw on stream, I believe it was 2 days ago, where we did have a Gyro given to us by Hector as well. It is now in the slot ready to rock, just got to level it up. But I also did have a couple of awesome upgrades come through after stream yesterday. I was looking around the Illuvidex trying to find some upgrades to bump up my average TPI, because over the last little bit, of course, I've been documenting on that spreadsheet that keeps flashbanging you. But I've been keeping track of the average TPI, average level, and all that. And there are certain teams that I'd like to use more of that I just straight up don't have great TPI for. So I've kind of refrained from it. And going through the Illuvidex, I saw a bunch of possible upgrades, and then I had reached out actually to Sota because I figured, hey, I need rogues really badly. Like, a lot of my rogues, my slash-in was like 55 TPI. It wasn't very good. And Sota, by my surprise, because I was asking if they had anything for sale, they just straight up donated to me. And I'm super, super thankful, incredibly thankful to Sota and then the entire community for helping build my team. Absolutely incredible. Today you found a 94 TPI T-Roo. And you have another one that's 94, but it's level 50. Do I need it? So let me double check, actually, because I think my Roo isn't too bad. Let's see, my 44. I mean, potentially, this guy's just missing a little bit of HP. I'm absolutely open for a donation if you are willing to do so, but please do not feel obligated, not by any means. Ex-Billionaire, good to see you. What are your worst rogues now? Let me bring my spreadsheet here in front of me. Don't worry, I won't flashbang yet, but I'm just taking a peek at it as of this moment. It would appear that it's just the big guns and that's it. So, Sota hooked me up yesterday with a ramp fight, which absolutely surprised the hell out of me. So it's literally just ramp fire, which I do not expect anybody to ever donate that. That's a big boy. Tier 5, fully evolved. Don't do that. And otherwise, I think between Hector fixing my gyro yesterday, and then Sota helping me with the slash-in, the ramp fight, and then the supporting quinks, I think we've gotten a little bit better there. Time to walk the rogues. Absolutely, Sota. Thank you again so much for the help in building this team. I already played with it a few times on the arena. I just got to get it leveled up now, and then it'll start feeling really, really good. It feels like I've kind of turned to the dark side a little bit, considering that I've always been very frustrated towards rogues. Not because of them being cheap or anything along those lines, just they've been strong for a very long time. And they were basically the mortal enemy to my invokers, so fair. That's where that's from. But as somebody who wants to learn all about Illuvium across multiple titles and as much as possible for all those titles, if I need to be an all-arounder, I gotta try some of these builds that maybe I'm not necessarily personally accustomed to. So, That's what I was saying earlier in the introduction. If we get the opportunity to go rogue, we'll go for it. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is about bots playing rogues, but it feels like they have a ton of them nowadays. At a level 30, level 2. I can check the Discord in absolutely 1 second here. For sure, thank you. Rogues are the cheesy comp. It's normal that they have strong opinions about them. I mean, there is a sense where if you can't defend against it, like, it can be, like, obvious what they're doing, but you need the experience to actually be able to defend against it. Otherwise, you do get run over pretty hard. 100%. And then, Hector, I see what you're talking about here. I am completely content with either of the 91s, especially the, if I had to pick, the 91, but with the 32 level would be absolutely fantastic. I don't want to take the best one. I do want to save that for yourself, of course. I feel bad anytime, or I feel guilty, but I know like user offering when it comes to the donations, but I'm completely content with the 91. That is an incredible T-Root. Okay, next, or first game of the day, rather. We're set up nicely for some offense if we do manage to get the proper weapon. This is the fusion-based region here for Crystal Shore, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Nice and quickly getting into my Greater Earth Grotto. This thing I need to level badly. We've got even more offense, pure offense, coming out off the start here. Leveling majority of the time in this instance. Maybe we get our Greater Doka into the fight as well, going up against Prowler for round number 1 here. We've got 3 fire. Gonna split the attack damage augments across everything. Because if all of a sudden I get the Emberling Rod, and I have committed to a bunch of combined red augments, then I've kind of screwed myself. So, I'm gonna pause for the time being. A very fast Nimble Lynx coming out here from Prowler. Absolute best case scenario. Even though I will have the level advantage and the alluvial advantage, they just have the straight up power. Beautiful start here for Hector. Or for Prowler. Hector is in this game here as well. Yes, good luck, have fun. Yeah, perfect augments right now to set up for Rogue if it's possible. But the thing is here too, I know Hector likes Rogue, so I do not necessarily want to step on their toes. We have a couple of options here into this one. Rogue is one of them. We do have the Tidal Shiv there. We do see the water, or the Sylphid Blade coming on through here. And then the only other rogue in this instance appears to be a bot, so you know what, let's give this a shot. Unironically, Silent playing rogue. Yep, that's actually going to be happening right here, right now. Echo Force, we'll get that underway. We can then double it up. I think this is the way that go as of late. A little bit split up, but I can eventually start transitioning this over into some of these rogues. Once I actually get them, you know. Now, the Tidal Shiv, the ranger weapon, the water rogue weapon, is surprisingly effective, in my opinion, at making the ranger itself a carry. Of course, it behaves kind of similarly to what you would see with the Greater Grilla, where it just kind of zips over and does a massive amount of burst damage. So even the ranger can pop off if things go their way. Now, could we potentially find some sort of Omnivamp? We're not going to, but we'll end up getting, I guess... We'll just get the energy regen. One more Grotto towards here. Have the health bars been widened? I've not noticed if it has. Here, we're going to stack things up onto Rai. Of everybody here on the battlefield, Rai is currently my highest leveled. So even though the Red Pandas aren't necessarily the greatest of carries, maybe just the raw damage output will be enough to get us through this fight. It looks pretty good. I mean, we're directly there. Oh, that Apon. Good stun, actually. That is going to wreck us. Bought them enough time. I played a little greedy. I should have maybe leveled up to 5. Will bite me this time, but it is what it is. There's our first rogue. We'll get the Valente on board. And then maybe we make a switch over here. You can join there, Ace. I know you're not a traditional rogue, but to me, you're going to be an honorary rogue. I feel like we're decent enough shape to actually take this just as is, so I'm going to try and be greedy one more time. We'll see if that bites me. Decent little shot, but this tank line is holding the line very well. I think I underestimated it once again, so we're going to get crushed. Yeah, see if we can maybe pick 1 or 2 out of there. Yeah, we'll just get the 1, so that's definitely unfortunate, but a little bit of loose streaking to start things off. We'll gladly accept the Railu onto the squad. There is a Tiru we'll throw on over. We don't need the Atipo. We're not going to need these guys. There is the random potential that I can just get an Exalted Earth Grocko right now and just kind of let that be the tank for the first little bit. Not the end-all be-all if we don't, but a nice little win if we do. Can we get more fire, potentially? Yes, please. Alright, Grilla gonna come on next here. That would give me 4 rogues, so maybe we make that switch temporarily. This needs to be a phase breaker, so we're gonna hold there for a moment. You can be honorary fire for now. Don't need anything that's here. And then next round, we will be in the sweet spot for some sort of either roll down, max interest, or go directly to 7. That is kind of the odd part that I've been trying to learn with here with this rogue-based teams. Because part of me wants to stay at level 5 for just a little bit, just to get Chocoral and to get Greater Gorilla, get the Predator buff online. However, especially when something is contested, the thought of just racing it down, racing all the way to 7, also makes sense to me. Even though that's not normally how I'd end up playing. Might be the way to go, though, especially since we do miss. Phase Breaker by chance, we're not going to land it, so I'm going to end up playing the Recycle game. Bump one up here. I've been completely neglecting the region, so I've been missing out on a lot of rolls here. Hector looks like they're going for mud, so that is definitely going to be terrifying, especially if they do end up landing everything. Already have that Greater Monk here ready to rock. Greater Gorilla is here as well. And they do also have the Chocoral, so a couple of these Tier 1 rogues are going to be at least a little bit contested, but that's okay. I think the wiser choice for me would just be bypassing these early rogues and maybe just trying to get to level 7. Be the first one there, start grabbing penguins, start grabbing the star-nosed moles. And kind of go from there. Okay, we do end up getting the full-on Exalted Earth Grocko. That's kind of crazy. Level up and get you onto the field. We're going to end up missing the Phase Breaker, so we're going to have to do another roll down here. Or recycle, rather. But at least by doing it this way, we should be essentially level 7 by the time this next NPC round comes through. And then we can truly go. We can either try to all in if we are being absolutely hard pressured. Or if we're not being pressured at all, then just kind of slow roll it. And by pressured, I'm referring to Like, is anybody else taking Luras or Slappins? Because if nobody is, there's no point on me completely destroying my economy, trying to chase it or trying to force it. Go in a peek and see if we manage to land any other rogue weapons. We're not going to be able to do so. We're going to turn our rogue into just even more of a carry. Going to miss the phase breaker again. Now we go up against Prowler, which, hello, beautiful. That is an awesome Hydrolinks coming on through. Nimble Hydrolinks, ready to rock. We're going to level up one more time and get Rota onto the field. This will be our 5th rogue. And I'm definitely still leaving rolls on the table by not truly effectively utilizing the region. Now, while I have a bunch of Illuvials onto the battlefield, they are all still very, very frail. And I imagine that this Nimble Hydrolinks is probably going to give us an extremely hard time, even though we have the Swarm kind of on our side. It depends on how quickly this Ace can actually start focusing down this Lynx. Untargetability is going to allow for the power field to come through. But yeah, this is what I was worried about. A very close battle. Holy smokes, we live by 23 HP. It does not get much closer than that. Beautifully done there, little Valente. Alright, now we've got the NPC round, and we got tier 3 drones. Can we, or stage 3 drones, can we find combat rhythm or something? Nothing. That's a little heartbreaking, I'm not gonna lie, because none of these are really useful for what I'm doing. I mean, it's probably just getting... Am I stuck chasing ramp fight now? That's hella annoying. Actually, maybe this can work. Okay, instead of level 7... Or no, level 7 might not be a bad idea, because I still need a couple tier 1s. Horn, I am. Very much so. Okay, Railu, you're not... Or no, you kind of are going to fit here, aren't you? Let's see. Ramfy, come on in. Who has more... Oh, you have more damage just raw. Okay, you take those. No phase breaker just yet. Take that. Energy. Considering energy is a good thing for Rampy, actually. Let's do this. Tank, you can take that. Six fire rogues. I know this isn't the normal way to play it, but I'm just kind of going by what's showing up here. Yeah, Frost Slayer could absolutely be a fantastic option to take this to if the dashes roll my way. Oh, Rampy, that was absolutely beautiful, you little guy. But let's see if they can keep this up. Ace is still shooting from the side. There we go. All right. Let's clear off these tier 0s that aren't going to actually evolve for me here. Okay, that's not going to do me any good. The additional healing I think we'll take for now. There we go. We still are just not getting a phase breaker, which is just absolutely shutting me down for a little bit. Let's get up to level 8. And now let's check. Penguin check. And Rake check. Okay, so Rake is being contested ever so slightly. I don't see much in regards to Penguin. So that's not bad, all things considered. There's one dash. 2 dashes. And Lura is here too. Lura, come play. Let's see. Rampy, can you get in there? Yeah, trying a little bit of a difference here with a fire-based one. Look at that Rampy just absolutely chunk. Love to see it. Yeah, we'll clean this one up rather nicely. Let's see, there is one Arctase here as well. Because there's a part of me that wants to just do something completely out of left field, as we now finally do end up getting the phase breaker. I think I'm content with where my team is for the time being. Lolura, there we go. Rota, there's a first penguin here as well. And because we didn't land Predator, I'm actually going to get rid of the Gorilla. You here instead. I need that for the fire buffs temporarily. Still need to clean up some of these tier 0s. There we go. Now, Rampy, can you blow up that corner nice and quick for me, please? There we go. Now, this is very weird for me, because normally the Rampy, to me, is more of a support of, like, DPS. But it's kind of the carry right now alongside the Artes. We're going to keep landing them, so that works out for me. There's Ramp Fight. Sota, your new Ramp Fight is on the battle, or the new Ramp Fight for me, rather, the one you gave to me, is now on the field. Thank you once again. I'm happy to have them on board already. This is perfect. Slap in. There we are. And a couple more, actually. Oh, where do we even begin? I think we have to get rid of the 6 fire. Oh, I completely... It didn't switch for me. That's unlucky. Come on, good shot. There we go. Ramp Fight immediately blowing up everybody directly in the middle. And if we can get rid of Headshot, they were withholding a handful of our rogues that we were going for, opening the door for us to potentially get in there. Okay, so Gorilla, you can go away for now. And since we do have the pieces available, what I can then do is have essentially a battle on 2 fronts, 2 carries. So this is going to be Steam Vanguard. Tiru, thank you. We can still have the Vanguard going absolutely nuts, but there is the potential as well for letting the Rake actually go crazy too. It might be a bit greedy, but we'll see how it goes. Salted Graco, thank you for your service, but that is basically everything that I'll need from you for now. Bit of tankiness, and the chip would actually make that perfect, so I don't have to worry about the 6 fire anymore. Alright, give me Omnivamp, I think. We'll try that out. Any other rogues to look for at this moment? Prowler does have a couple. How many are on the bench, though? Okay, so Malura is going to be an absolute headache, but everything else might be alright. Okay, you tank for a bit. Phase Breaker, no, we're not going to get it this time. Do the burning one. There we go. Now we can look. There's Allura. Dash. Ace. We are very close to hitting Umber. Slap in, and there we go. Steam Slayer sounds cool too. Yeah, if we land this Umber, we're there. We land the Umber, it's absolutely possible. I'm still, even us right now, playing this without 7 rogues, so it's a little bit of a missing piece. Please let there be some sort of combat rhythm. I mean, we'll take battle momentum, that's fine. There's a dash right there in front of me. Okay, who to get rid of? I mean, Ace is probably not coming on through just yet. Maybe a little too early for more Ramfies. Alright. I feel like this current position isn't too bad. We're just going to send Ramfy in just a little bit further. Or Ramp Fight, rather. See if we can make some good on that AoE damage. Penguins, you can see we're 1 away. We're about 2 away here. And then 1 Umber away, actually. A close fight, but I think we will take this. Ramp Fight's still alive. My rogues, or my two main carries are still alive here as well. So this is a pretty good spot, all things considered. Prowler, how many doggos do you have on the bench? Absolutely none. So I feel like I gotta try and find it. In just a second. There you are. Hello, big guy. With that now being online, Steam Slayer can actually become a thing, which of course really relies on me finding a kill extremely quickly. Get a kill nice and fast, and then all of a sudden start just going absolutely nuts with the snowball damage. Sell the flare, put a Chuko or Tiru instead. Absolutely. And so far, things are looking pretty good. I think the Umber I kind of trapped. Oh, I need to put the phase breaker onto Umber. That was a mistake. I saw the purple augment and thought I was fine. But no, that was actually the wrong augment. So, a little bit of a miss in that regard. Got Prowler up next. Let's make the switch that I was talking about. We'll do this first. Putting on a lot of flares. It is a little bit contested, so I'm not going to worry about the behemoth side of things just yet. But I'm not going to lie, feeling a little bit lost, and that was probably why. We do see the Malura is now here. Okay, you go kind of like this. I want you to be able to thread the needle between that link. Oh yeah, wait, it was a rogue. Never mind. It's going to dive on through. The Rylu's purpose on this team is literally just to die, so that does feel a little bit awkward. Umber swinging away, doing pretty decent, but I think we did lose our untargetability. Ramp fight one more time, good damage, but it's not going to be enough. So let's get closer to level 9. Because I don't think I see a world where I can easily knock Prowler out of here just yet. It sucks that I'm one slapping away from slashing. And again, still just one rogue away from being able to get 7. That's a bit of a learning experience today. Okay, augments, fusion. Attack damage is energy potentially. Some more energy regeneration. A shield into Omega Power. We can just set up our ramp fight to go crazy. This gets us Dust online now, which we can get that versus Hector's Mud. That's not too bad, in my opinion. Something kind of like this for the time being. Allura, go over here. Arctase, you'll end up letting it rain down there. And Slashin' has arrived, so there's a nice big pickup. And part of me is debating whether or not the Slayer is outweighing the Vanguard. Especially since Malura is being taken as of this moment. Yeah, Umber is getting just killed off over and over again, and I'm not sure if that's just skill issue or if I'm just not doing it correctly. But in order to go up against Prowler, I feel like I do need some sort of consistency here. We're going to make a roll down onto... Frick, I just passed 2 of the Illuvials I was going for. That's first and foremost Fire, Rogue. That's Steam Predator, my bad. Let's go for this here, Steam Vanguard. Get that online. See if those rolls bite me too bad. I just passed Allura, that's no good. Passed another one. We do have Phantom now. Now, I went for Vanguard, but again, I did not switch my phase breaker. Let's hope this does not punish me. When it comes to Prowler and I, this is essentially the final battle. So far, the Vanguards are okay. Ramp fight, can you get one more before going down? You will, actually. But this is still very tense. The Umber gets caught in the Malura, but we are going to be able to clutch that out by the skin of our teeth. Holy hell. Do we majestically land something we need? I mean, Lura is right there. This is probably my final life. Make this switch. Is there any world where maybe I could potentially get a ramp fight in here, or a ramp fire? It's kind of a Hail Mary move, but let's take a look. We do manage to get it. Okay, so Inferno is naturally going to be online here as well. I'll have everybody snuggle to the right. I don't want anybody jumping into the fray with that Rip Lance, but that got a lot of my Illuvials actually kind of stuck for a moment. Good shot from the ramp fire. Big time damage, but now my slash-in did get jumped on, and I don't think there's going to be enough. Hang on, ramp fire might just clutch this up. Can we get to that Blazonite? It is very close. We're not going to be able to do so, but that felt pretty good still. Not bad overall. Is this normal? Is this the way you're supposed to play it? Not a freaking chance. But I mean, we did make it relatively interesting still at the end of the day. Bunch of levels here. Lura is almost level 50. That's actually fantastic. The 32 onto the ramp fight. We're getting there. Used them a handful of times over the last couple of hours and finally bumped it up a little bit. Thank you again, Sota, for that one. And we're getting there. Yes, GG's, Hector. GG's. It was messy. That was not clean in the slightest, but that was a lot of fun. Yeah, because part of me in the back of my mind was thinking in terms of like theory crafting. With Phantom getting the change that it did, is there a world where I can make it happen a little bit more often? And that's why, even though I was going for like Steam Vanguard or Steam Slayer, I kept collecting aces anyway. One, because I need to level up the Poodle Moths, but two, if we can actually get Phantom online and do something, maybe that can be that extra little bit of spice into the team compositions. Hector, yes, I just gave the shout out in the Discord there. Thank you. Thank you again. That's incredible. I appreciate it greatly. I'm curious to see how well you would do with my collection. We'll see, because there would be a major skill issue still I'm going to assume as well. But considering how strong your collection is, it would definitely buy me out of many mistakes. When just a level dip is just that great that I can play a little bit looser and still get away with it. There are many times where I do feel like I get lost on the battlefield if I'm not going for Invoker still, though, and that's kind of why I'm happy to just practice this out in ranked when I feel like I got myself into a position where I can at least get top 4. As much as it's about climbing, it's also about the late game, which of course requires leveling, so do have to keep that in mind, even though I do get into those spots where I get a little bit uncomfortable, get a little bit lost. I have a bench full of Illuvials, but I'm not 100% sure what the path looks like. But that's how you figure out what the path is in the end, right? It's not like, say, if you're looking at, say, something for, like, team fight tactics, where you can literally, like, dot per dot make a build order, so to speak, and say exactly how to play it and exactly how to pivot it depending on which thing. There's not that many players here. We don't have those kind of websites and resources. We at least know what the meta teams look like, but in terms of the build order, it would be kind of up to us to figure out for now. Hector's calling for the team planner, which means our little Rue must have just arrived. There it is. Hello, little fella. Welcome aboard. That's awesome. Thank you, Hector. I appreciate that very, very, very much. Now, one thing that I do as well, like you notice I just took the one that I had as level 44, but I'm using a random holo instead. Because I can never keep track of exactly what levels and which Illuvials I'm supposed to be using at any given time, and which ones I'm leveling, and I can't always reference my spreadsheet. So what I end up doing is the main one that is my competitive battler goes into slot 1, and then whatever slot 2 is just going to be a holo. This way, when I'm looking at the bench and I have two of the same Illuvials, I know that the flashy one is not the one that I'm actually supposed to use. Use the other one. There is very rarely instances where I need two tough of the same Illuvial on the field at the exact same time. The only reason I think you'd ever do that right now is if you're going for Inferno and you needed double Arctase. That's basically the only reason I could think of actually trying to do two of the exact same Illuvial in a team composition, and it actually making sense. So that's why even though the level 44 was better by a long shot, there's less chance of human error, less chance of skill issue if I just have the holo there instead. And two Lynxes. Yeah, I forgot about the two Lynxes. But yeah, definitely need that too. Yeah, the Leviathan staple. You have to have two good Lynxes. Two baby Lynxes, at least. Everything else is up to your discretion when it comes to the Lynxes, but you definitely need the two babies. I'm curious as to what the data says in regards to Lynx usage and then win rate overall since the change. I know we haven't necessarily had the biggest amount of time since the last patch, but I'm curious if these ramping up effects are actually making a difference here for the Lynxes. It definitely makes it fun to chase, but is it actually changing performance, I wonder? Alright, right around the corner here for our next game. And I do, of course, want to give the reminder that House League is happening tomorrow. In the description of this video is the sign-up sheet. If you have not done so already, would love to have you all on board. It's a completely free-to-enter event where, of course, you can absolutely grow your Illuvial collection just by playing the game. One single best of one for a chance to get in there. And especially if you're a newcomer, you walk away with at least one Illuvial just by showing up and giving me your best shot. So I definitely would love to have you on board. That again is going to be happening at 3 p.m. my time, also known as 3 or 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. UTC. And then Saturday, of course, we got the Ratty Data Season 2 Finals. So looking forward to casting that as well. Probably hard to find good signal and all the noise you get with Arena's data, 100%. Especially right now, since the player base is still on the lower side. Because it all depends on who's using what. If top players are using a specific team composition, then of course that's going to look broken. Whether it's actually broken or not is another thing. I remember, for at least a little bit there, if you're looking at the Ratty data for the Gauntlet Companion, getting all the meta diagnoses, it was basically just a matter of what was Fox or what was one of the top players playing that week. And even if you knew that it wasn't necessarily the greatest build, it didn't matter. It shows up near the top of the charts anyway. Matter 1's water units can be really dangerous for Caribou Cup. Would be interesting to play with newcomers. And that's why I do have a bit of a manual override as well. So not only am I looking at collection score, but I am also looking at levels. Because if I see they have one team that's like all 60s, for example, because like that's what happened before with, I believe it was William Zen, because they had a collection score that was less than 10,000. However, their rogue team was all level 60s. So there's no chance in hell that I would be able to put that into Caribou Cup, even though the collection score suggests it. So, you know, it is something that I do keep in mind of. I just don't see collection score and then immediately assign somebody somewhere. There is some precaution taken. Okay, we're gonna have some fun with this one. We could do it that way, actually. We could potentially bring the fire once again here in this game. Actually setting up rather nicely for a good start here. You tank for now. All of you guys up here. Something like that to start us off here. Let it blaze. Yep, we're going to let some fire come on through once again. What else do we have everybody playing? So again, in regards to actual people in this lobby, we've got Awake Darkness 69. Good to see ya. And Prowler is returned once again. Good to see them in this one as well. So a 3 out of 8. And then more importantly for me, only one player using fire. Okay, a nice pickup here to get Chocoral on the field relatively quickly. You should have some of the augments that I'm looking for. Switch this. I want that to be red. I would love for it to actually be a phase breaker. Because the way that I'm thinking is this is going to need or rely on one in particular carry. Who that is, I'm still deciding. But either way, they want to be up in your face anyway, so they need the protection of a phase breaker, 100%. A Valente we're probably not using. We do get a Lynx involved potentially here. And we missed the augment that we were looking for, so we're going to take that out. The Grocco, leave. Lynx, you take the goods for the time being. The 2 rogues from the... Or 2 rogues diving in, and then 3 trying to go front to back. A little bit of spread out damage, but we should be able to clean through with a nice quick 5 fire. Very close to already having 6. And as it stands right now, my plan is uninterrupted. So this is looking actually pretty good. Maybe we can start moving a little bit shortly after this NPC run. Another Chuka. And we missed the augment once again. I'm not going to be needing Atlases this time for what I'm doing, as much as I love seeing 2 of them right there in front of me. If I was playing Invokers, I'd be scooping that up immediately. But not this time. And the Lynx is just here temporarily. There we go. We've got some red augments. Would love it if this also turned red. We are going to get it, so there we go. Pretty happy with how that turned out. Let's try and get a phase breaker. We're going to miss, so I'm going to quickly fire that into the recycler. Gonna turn this. I mean, we kind of missed the one that I was hoping for here as well. Just go for damage with crit. Give that one a shot. We got Prowler on the move this time. Average level 26, so advantage is in my court. However, I'm not playing my most leveled team, so it's much more even than what the levels would suggest, in my opinion. Atipo, you're not going to be used. Flish, nor will you. Rocco, probably not. And after this one, we should be able to actually move a little bit. Nice play here for Prowler, though. They were able to absolutely collapse onto my units. Knock them down rather nicely, and Prowler will take the lead into this one. We're just absolutely missing with our recycles as of this moment. And then given that there is no fire really being used here at all, I'm not getting the Illuvials that I'm looking for either. Maybe lose one more, and then we'll actually be on max credits. Then we can start looking. Yeah, that's two... Maybe it would have been wiser to throw all of these augments onto Chocoral instead. And just utilize the links for its pure damage. Considering I have so much fire going on right now. We might still get away with it. We have a lot of low health bars, but even our little baby Rue is hanging on in the back lines. Yeah, we'll be able to make that work. There we go. Alright, now we'll be maxed out. Rue once again, gonna miss. Okay. Grilla is now arrived. Ninja's off over here. Doka, thank you for your service. We're gonna allow for the Grilla and the Chocoral to kind of be our carries for the time being. Part of me wants to put a Lynx on to level. Maybe we'll wait a second. Because I gotta go crazy here in a second. Alright, get some executions here, Chocoral. Need that Predator damage to help secure some of these kills. Grilla doing pretty good. Chocoral tanking pretty decently. Yeah, Grilla should be able to clean this one up. Actually, all three of them are going to stick around to clean this one up. Beautiful. Alright. Stun duration, just to be annoying as hell. We'll absolutely go for it. Heck, getting a tank is a nice change up here, too. Now, I would chase Lynxes, but if I do take a look over at Awake Darkness, it's telling me not to, so I'm going to advise against it. Fact, for the time being, I know I'm going to lose this round, but I'm just going to get Quinks in there for the time being. I could potentially splash Rota in there too. Doka, thank you for your service. Lynx, thank you for your service. I know I'm probably going to end up losing this, but I want to at least be at max credits. Well thought, but we'll be a little bit short. And then in theory, it's an NPC round, and it's basically time to go. I have a really bad habit of just forgetting my recycles, and I'm also just losing track of the build that I'm trying to go for. And there's been a few times, I think if I think back, that I actually missed a core piece of the puzzle for what I'm actually trying to do. Okay, any chance we get some sort of combat rhythm? We will not. We're going to be stuck with the crit chance, it looks like. Recycle you. Archie, hello there. Welcome. Okay. We'll get the Dust Duo. online. That's fine, that's fine. Okay, a little late, but we do find the Railu. Field crate coming on through. We'll take the one where you get the physical resistances. I have a flare ready to go for a fire tank. And oh boy, okay. That's interesting. So the idea is now in effect. Still missing on these, eh? God dang. Okay, Gorilla, thank you for your service. Flare, come through, get tanky. So this ends up what I was kind of thinking in mind here was to try a build I have not done in a little while. This is going to be Shock Aegis, where the intention is having a bunch of shock units rain down on the opponents while I have whatever the extra carry is that I can find as my main carry. It's a lot of damage, and with it being shock, it does not care about the back line. It's going to hit you anyway, so we can actually chew through. But this could potentially be spun into Wildfire Aegis if all of a sudden we land Chakondi. Got a lot of stuff, though, on the field. Man, I am just absolutely whiffing in terms of these augments. So I'm one away from Chakondi. Trying to find Archie's probably going to be a little bit too much. Second Railu. Alright, left my squid out to die. I barely was a little bit too slow. But because these units weren't really contested, I don't feel too threatened at actually needing to rush. But I don't want to also just sit behind, just constantly chasing all of these random Illuvials that just don't ever show up. Wait on the case, actually. We still have our Ranger in the game, so the shock is still falling. There we go. Okay, Ace, you could potentially come through. Gonna drop down to 60. A nice little upgrade on the tank. There's a Rai. There's a Rue. Okay, never mind, Ace. We are like right there. Heck, there's a Choral as well. Where'd you go? Can we finish one of these by chance? Not here. I'm not going to go any further. Literally one red panda away from getting our third shock unit. Still a bit of a ways away from getting Ibiruko. But it's not a complete lost cause as of yet. Rain down rather nicely. Or one away from potentially doing the wildfire variant of this as well. Be torn between two builds, it looks like. Yeah, that's going to make things interesting. So now we can actually switch this from Shock Aegis to Wildfire Aegis. Going up against Prowler next. Squid. Huddle in. Have Quinks there with you. The fact that Prowler already has a Furiox does definitely make me nervous. There we go, Chikondi. I always say how much I want to use you in team compositions, but never feel like I can actually do so. Well, at least for now, we can do it. Good job getting to the back line right where the Furiox was, and we will be able to clean up. I think we're to the point now where I'm far enough into the game that I have to actually worry about some levels. I can't be sitting here at level 6 anymore, even though I'm literally one damn panda away. Unless I try to roll that panda. Then, of course, the T-Roo's going to be here to really tempt me. It's like right there, man. Any chance I could just get one of them. I'm literally one away from both of them. Damn it. Indecisions and decisions. Okay, some more offense going over to Chikora or Chikondi. Not going to find the right augment, but that's okay. Thorns, no thank you. Healing, potentially. Or AoE. Let's go for AoE. Bulwark weapon. Turn our Archos into an honorary Bulwark. And you know what? We're right there. I feel... Oh, wow. We're actually going to get an Octius before we find this. Okay, now I can stop. We now have natural shock. Okay, Squiddy. Come over this way. Tibiruko, be sure to leave your minion right next to Squiddy so that the little baby boost can come through onto it. So yeah, this is Shock Wildfire Aegis because I could not pick one. I had to do both, apparently. I'm going to hope that naturally a red panda just comes through, but I'm not going to sit here and roll anymore. Like, seriously, I know I've said that a few times, but no, I genuinely cannot stay here anymore. Now, I wonder. Is Chikondi a better tank for the Tibiruko, or vice versa? That is what I'm torn about, because we did end up going down, but we were 2 levels down. Energy, that could potentially work. Again, I'd love to have combat rhythm. We're not going to end up hitting it, once again. Okay, level you on here. Get our T-Roo into the swing of things. Which one's higher level? Tibiruko is. I think we're going to actually recycle this. Make a situation like this. Maybe we could even get Templar involved if we find Fernite. Gonna end up sacrificing our little Roo to the Rake, but my Ranger's gonna jump back just in time to start messing with this Rake. Yeah, we're trying to see what happens if the Tibiruko is the carry this time. Does not seem like it's gonna end up working out still. Close, but not quite. That wildfire made it very close, actually, but not this time. Petty is absolutely going to be needed. Finally, can we get a phase breaker? Yes, we can. Finally, make that switch up. You can take that. Pretty content with this current setup. If we get Crunk online, that would be yet another... Yet another... tank. You can switch out the Quinks for the time being. Put little Fern up there. The Quinks was mainly there to proc shock, but if we are getting shock naturally, I'm not going to be too worried about it unless all of a sudden we have the chance for 4 shock. Unless we get wildfire naturally. Yeah, lightning coming down while also being able to burn it down. Only thing this team needs now is Inferno, and then it would truly be just an all-offensive affinity style kind of composition. Okay, Fern coming on through. Good to see that. Can we maybe find a couple others? These rampies are definitely tempting me. Wasn't originally on the menu, though. Octius has arrived. Gladly accept that, but we're going to have to keep it nice and careful. Made up kinda like so. One away from another heady. Yet we're gonna find yet another damn squid. And we do now have 4 shock. We'll give it a try. I still need an appropriate carry to utilize all of these shock units, or all these augments that we do have. So obviously, like, my biggest carry right now would be Octius, but it's not necessarily a wielder of the physical augments. Unless I'm looking at it right in front of me. Okay, so Templar now online. Is there a way that we can turn this into Drax build, but just with shock? A Fury in there, maybe bring the Octius back a little bit. Except it has a Chicondi as well. Obviously, this isn't obviously Drax build, but the idea of Aegis boosting a Furiox. So let's get to level 8, and let's try this. So Furiox, come on through. You get stacked up as high as you can on offensive augments. We'll give you the boost. You get the boost as well. Octius, hide down here, while also getting the T-Biruko's baby boost. Riley will cover you. And I'm still going to be missing out on... First off, that augment. I was too slow, but I need to get to level 9 to get my Lynx onto the field. Oh, they already have a Scoriox, but we're going to take it down, hopefully, this round, if we're lucky. Both of our rogues are directly into their face. We'd have the double intargetability coming on through. Octius is going to be able to rain it down. There we go. So with Amphex being out of here, nobody else is going for Snakies. Okay, Awake Darkness level 10. I am going to blow the bank in order to get another Illuvial onto the board, which will be the Quinks, with an Aegis boosted, Shock Aegis boosted Illuvial. Both of you in the back line. And then optimally, like, where's my bulwarks right now? It's the... Oh, it's because there was a chip there. I see. Okay. Okay, do something like that. Give my Octius a little bit more wiggle room. There we go. Shock Aegis. It's now 4 shock, so it hits hard and hits quicker. Let's see if we can pull this off. Awake Darkness, level 10, so they have the Swarm, but it helps that I have 4 shots coming down over and over and over again. And let's see, so Fumbalonk... Yeah, I can literally just look for snakes now. There's 1. There's 2. Perfect. Another squid. One more. Heck, we can even potentially get Crunk here if we wanted to. For the sake of experience, I'm not going to throw him in just yet. I was hoping to find maybe a couple more squids to finish the job on this round. We might not be able to, but let's see how it goes versus an actual rogue Vanguard team coming out here from the bot. The ramp fight came down, but actually looks like it was held off rather nicely. And there we go. It has been a while, but when I saw it there, I felt like I had to. Shock Aegis back onto the field. Did Awake Darkness take care of the bot? They did, so we do have one more battle here with Awake Darkness. Now, they too are also going for Blazonite. And we are now one squid away. They do have a Crunk on the field, so I'm going to double check to confirm something. I'm not selling anything until you've done all of your rolling, because I want to make sure I'm not giving you a damn thing. So now, let's take a look. Can we potentially get the icing on the cake? Bingo. Hello, big guy. With a Fisto here, I feel confident, to say the least. In fact, there could be a world where it might actually be worth it more to Aegis buff the Fisto. But just like that, boom, and it's gone. The team actually works out rather beautifully. Shock Aegis. Gonna win us this game. GG's, everybody. And of course, the new little T-Roo had a lot of airtime in that game. So again, thank you, Hector, for that. Happy to get them onto the battlefield. The Quinks from Sota getting leveled up as well. Hell yeah. GG, I'm shocked. Literally, or because it was a shock team? It was scrappy. That was not clean in the slightest. We did not have very great luck early. Like, optimally, you just hit all of those shock units extremely early, and then you load back up on credits and then go. But the one saving grace in that entire game was the fact that nobody else was going for fire units. So TB Ruko, Rise, they weren't touched whatsoever. Squiz hardly gets touched unless you're playing somebody who's going up again or going for full Scion or Invoker. And there was none of that being set up at all by anybody during that game. So it was very fortunate, very lucky. But it was cool being able to bring back an old build that I probably haven't used for a couple months. Great. But that was fun. We've got time for, I believe, one more. In terms of the climbing, a rating of 2200 makes me rather happy. This currently has me, I think, just outside the top 25. Oh, right in the top 25 now. Battling it up, mixing it up here with Blazon and Coyote Hype, it looks like. So Blazon, assuming I can take this one, I might be able to temporarily make the pass. I know our rewards or prizes don't make any difference there, but still, I'm coming for you. And we don't have much time to actually make these moves either, right? Because it's next week, next Thursday, where the ranked reset happens. Everybody's starting off from scratch once again, basically. I'm curious as to how that will conflict with the newcomer queue that's currently installed. Because in theory, if everybody's in their placements, this means that everybody is basically back in the same queue again temporarily. Obviously, for those that do have a rather built-up collection, going from 1200 to 1280 is not a big gap. I think you can get that in basically 3 solid games if you get win after win after win. But it might just be a temporary growing pain while everybody's doing their placements. Let's see. I feel like changing my battle board for this one. One thing that kind of ticks me off, there's 2 things actually. Well, I guess 2 kind of counts for 3. But the Wave 5 battle board for Illuvium Beyond, I have it in my inventory. Oh, where is it? We've reported this thing many, many times. And unfortunately, it's still not there. It's been a bug that's been around for months. Same thing with my beloved Link skins. I have a Link skin for the suit in every single drone. I would use the skin every single time, and it's not been fixed even still. So I'm actually going to throw one in literally live because I'm fed up with waiting now. This is a bug that in theory should be somewhat fixable, at least in my opinion. I can't imagine that it's that tough. Ma'am. It's the last time that I sent a bug report for this. I got a response back being like, yeah, we know about it, but I don't think we're fixing it. So I really hope that they reconsider, because that is a little bit frustrating. We have these assets. We'd love to be able to actually use them. But this would be the first time that I'm firing off this bug report since the dev chat, the arena dev chat. So I'll give the benefit of the doubts that with a new set of eyes, maybe they can tackle it. And the one thing I'm also very, confused about. I love the change where the classic battle board matches whatever region you're on. That's a really, really cool change. That happened a little while ago. But what ticked me off, have the Crimson Wastes battle board. So, the battle board that I paid fuel for was essentially given away for free whenever we're on Crimson Wastes. I found that very, very odd. So, 2 interesting things, but not the end of the world, but just interesting choices from way back in the day. Alright, next game, and final game here for today. Brightland Steps, you lose health, you get credits. In terms of people, we've got Awake Darkness making a return once again, but this time up against Blaze Leclerc here as well. I've not played Blaze in a very long while, so this should be interesting. Gonna start things in the usual, completely missing my phase breaker. Yes, Blaze, last time I remembered, they were very, very good, so we'll see. Maybe today, or this game here, is the day we bring, or the game we bring out to the Invokers. Can I get a damn phase breaker? Yes, we can. There we go. A little bit for our tanks. Let's get up to the next level. There's my fantastic level 60 snail. Going up against nicely. And my newly acquired level 60 Caribou. I wanted to get that Atipo in there so I can actually make myself an empath as well, because 3 Scions does not hit any threshold. So that's a little bit of a miss. Let's see if we can hold the line still. I basically got my A-team out there for the time being. And even still, lots of low health bars, but I think we'll scratch through nonetheless. One more shot from the Tatofi, and there it goes. Do we have a weapon that can actually match the style that I'm looking for? Blaze, what are you doing? Potentially mud. Awake darkness with water. Okay. Fire bulwark. Bulwark. Sheesh. Okay, so we're going to absolutely miss the boat. I'll go for the buckler for the time being, but I am going to 100% be looking to switch that. With the 2 Scions on board, I'm going to bring my Lynx in. I'm going to go from there. Firefighter with Rogue would 100% be a way that I could have taken that as well. Potentially some sort of Inferno Arcanite. But I do want to try and give one round here with my Scions, even if it's a little bit of a scratchy one, a little bit of a tough one. Nature Rogue's very good as well, 100%. Yeah, Verdant Vanguard was right there as well if I wanted to go for that. Not going to do it for this go-round. Tier 5, no thank you. Burning, I mean, Nature Imprint and Growing isn't bad either. We can get both of our Lynxes out onto the field now, including our new one that just needs to be leveled up there from Hector. A Fury showing up is actually kind of crazy. Okay, we can throw you on there as well. So I'm content chilling at level 5 for a little bit, building up the economy on my current play here. I would love to get up to Caradulo. I'd love to get up to Axon. And then get up to 70 credits. That's going to be my goal for the next little bit. Seeing both of them show up like that is definitely nice. There we go, Restorating Impact Reactor. Now we've got Awake Darkness coming on through. Let's replace our Flish with a Snaky. Use our Grocko to cover our Lynxes just temporarily. We do have to spread out a little bit. I did see at the last possible second there is, in fact, an Arcane Lynx over there. So the less chance of lining up, the better. A little bit of a rough spot there. My new Lynx is going to get tagged up. But otherwise, we're spread up enough that it's actually okay, and I think we'll be able to take this one versus Awake Darkness. Of course, my TNT, an absolute staple to my early game Scion play. And then finding this Fury so damn quickly was just icing on the cake. Caradulo is ready to go potentially as well. And now maybe we can go for a Lynx of our own, question mark? Oh, we could do Wombo Combo. I'm just going to throw the Flish on there for the time being. Oh, Archie, we need you. Yeah. We can do Wombo Combo Scion. Going up against Blind QTE. Okay. Give you the attack damage. Kind of get just in line like this. Oh no, that's a little far. This will be at the start of our defense. Synergy. I'm going to naturally get Scions with this build, and I can easily add a Flare. So I'm going to just make my Archie a tank for the time being. And the only reason I haven't thrown Caradulo into the field just yet is I'm trying to get my Grocko a little bit of extra experience. It's one of my better Grokkos, a level 50 Greater Air. But my Caradulo is already level 61, so I mean, I've got other things that I could be leveling up for the time being. What is Blaze going for? Very hard to tell so far. I was expecting this to be Mud, unless it's all on the bench. It's all on the bench. Yeah, okay, this is a... what is it? Hiding Tiger, Sleeping Dragon, or something along those lines, except it's Sleeping Mud. Speaking of Blaze, there they are. And of course, their levels, yeah, their average level's 47. So I don't think we can worry about XP this time. Let's get Caradulo onto the battlefield. I'm very pleased with our current lineup for our links. If it's shooting at the heady, this should cleave basically through this entire squad. Could be an absolute best case scenario. Let's see where this first shot goes. Give me 3. Actually, it was only into the Appon. That's kind of a piss off. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was enough of a sonic boom to be able to actually get through there. Second shot wasn't too bad, but again, these are some tough units. Blaze has a tough team. We'll take down the Ranger, but I think that's as far as we go. Well played there, Blaze. Hey. Okay, eats. Almost up to max credits. Now, what I'm hoping for when we get to this next round where it's the weapon, because right now my Ember Buckler does not make any sense really with what I'm doing, unless I hard focus in onto having the Furiox or the Scoriox as my main carry, which can still be done, but I'm thinking more of a Spellcaster kind of build here for today, or for this final game. So I need some sort of Scion build. If it ends up being the Lava Gauntlet, that's probably my best case scenario, because then I can still support my Fury and support Furiox when it evolves, but still go for the traditional splash damage build. Now this is going to be a close one, but I have faith in the TNT. We will end up getting it. There we go. Snail check. Anybody else using TNTs? Awake Darkness does have one. Alright, weapon-wise, we are going to potentially get the Sprout Guard. I mean, that could work. It's not what I would rather have, but we could do this. And then would be the damage reduction, so I'd just be turning you into a tank. It's not the fun option, but I mean, it does make sense. And now we do have our Axon onto the field. Now bring you in. This makes you a Mud Harbinger, but Mud's not going to do squat for me, at least as of this moment. We very well might have to worry about the second weapon switch round. This could lead to Granite Invoker, though. Or Magma Invoker, maybe? Okay. I am every once in a while checking over towards Blaze, because I want to see how hard they go for Mud in particular. See, I'm kind of like sneaking maybe 2 of these Illuvials out of the way, but I'm not going to all in on that by any means. Okay, no thank you. Combat Rhythm. We finally find you when we're not using a physical damage build, but we do still have Furiox, so maybe we can make that work. How many snails did Awake Darkness have on the bench? None? I mean, I still don't think that sitting at a low level for Seaforest is actually worth it. Especially when I have pretty much everything else that I need of my low tiers. Because yeah, I could go for Lynxes, I could go for Archos, but I can just keep going towards level 7. In fact, that's what we'll do. Okay, level 7. We'll get the links that I need to level up for the time being. Energy Crate will gladly accept. Stealing Omega Power potentially, or just the shield. And this gives so much Omega Power for being a defensive augment. And then attacking for bonus energy. I think I like that idea. Okay. Blaze, still not quite there yet. Okay. I'm going to try and see how far I can get level-wise before I really start being threatened. If I could just keep putting this credits towards my level and start having better shots at Alfie, Squid, Furiox, feel like that'd be a good plan. And hopefully we do hit Archos. If Archos doesn't come around, that is okay. We do find so much firepower right now. That's quite nice, I'm not going to lie. We're not going to end up going for Steephorus. Probably not going for Karadulox. Mammoth, you can be my 5th Scion. And then Flare, be my 4th tank. Not bad actually. I just got to think of my next couple of pickups here, because I have a lot of Scions. Rough one here up against this bot. They're actually going to kill me off, I do believe. That's just it. I feel like I have defenses, but I don't have the utility of healing, and I do not have the big-time damage yet that I'm looking for. We get that evolved up into fully evolved Mammoth. That'd be fantastic. Just like that. Thank you very much, game. We're right on point. There's Furiox. That's a fantastic pickup. Trying to think of where to go. We don't have Magma just yet. There's an Alfie. Blaze just stuck still trying to find these units. How much did they spend? Okay, so they're like halfway down the field. They are spending a lot of time trying to get mud. Went up against Awake Darkness this time by. They are nicely cornered up, and I don't necessarily have the puncturing power of an Alfie, but I do still have the Mammoth. I still have the Lynx going to be able to charge on through, and that's why I was having a hard time finding Lynx. The Arcane Hydra Lynx coming out here from Awake Darkness, a decent one in terms of Omega power as well, but we do have the backup of Furiox, thankfully. Scoop up a couple more. Another big Mammoth pickup, actually. This is turning out pretty nice. When does Blaze level? That's what I'm curious about. How far are they off? This can't be much. Like 1 or 2 off of everything. That's got to be frustrating. Can we hold off these rogues? I was thinking about putting Alfie in this time. However, with rogues, I find it very hard to actually get consistent results with the Pistol Shrimp line. So I'm better off keeping the Lynx or keeping the TNT, rather. Because for me to truly go for this Wombo combo style that I'm thinking about, it does need to remove TNT. Alright, one more NPC round, and then we do get the weapon switch round up next, so part of me still is debating on maybe making a swap to a different Scion weapon, but if I have to stay with this, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, a little bit more DPS here for Furiox. That's going to be a nice change. And we could potentially do Emberling Rod. This would be the Wombo combo perfectly, actually. May not be optimal, but it's the style that I like. So we're going to end up going for it. I'm going to get the Disruptive Force Reactor here for my Furiox, so it can actually hit an Umber if we do run into one. Whether we do or not, I'm not 100% sure, but that's okay. There's another Alfie here. Gonna level up to 9. Alfie, where can I sneak in? I know I'm one Scion too many right now. And that is okay. Synergy box. Another nature. Oh, forgot to move my Ranger after the weapon change. A good first cast, though, on that Emberling Rod. Right into the Link, so that actually turned out into a bit of a combo anyway. Optimal, not in the slightest, but it did still pull off okay. Can we burst down these units in time? They might be able to take me, even though they don't have Mud truly online yet. That's kind of crazy there, Blaze. This needs to happen, I think. Struggling to find Archies, making things a little bit tough. Let's see. Pure damage, burning, refund energy costs. I think we'll run with that for the time being. Turn Caradolox into, or Caradulo into a nature unit as well. Ranger, tuck back in behind. And we maybe switch you out. Snuggle up a little bit tighter now. Honorary Bulwark. I'm now going to finally get rid of the rest of these units. And then maybe our 5th Bulwark can be Goliant and gets some sort of Granite online. There's the setup directly into the Lynx Blast. That's what I'm looking for. And it's still not going to be enough, though. We got absolutely smoked there by that bot. Holy hell. They do have a Sinolf, so it's something I'm going to have to keep in mind. In terms of snakes, the one bot there, Yeet Signal, does have one. A few more on the bench here as well. Well, the bots can actually play the game now, and that's why I'm not ever going to insult anybody for losing to a bot. Because especially in the tougher ranked queues, they are actually very, very tough to deal with. Okay, Awake Darkness. We are going in. Gonna keep myself with 30. Our final Illuvial in will be a Bulwark. I'm still one Scion too many, technically. And I'm not going to switch out the Squid just yet, because this is such a clumped up team that I do believe Arcane Lynx into Alfie, into Mammoth, into Emberling Rod can actually still be a fantastic composition. But with a lot of my Illuvials not being evolved, is that going to actually punish me? Gonna yeet away the Twine. Nice little burst there. Good lineup from the Alfie. I mean, this is decent. Lynx, what you got? Right through essentially the entire team. Nice interrupt from the Fernite, though. It stops my Adorito from casting. We still do have my Furiox firing on all cylinders. This is a very close battle, all things considered. 100% needed level 10 to have any chance of even winning this, and there we go. I think we will clean it up. Not gonna knock Awake Darkness out of here, but a very close one. Is there any other elks? Yes, Awake Darkness does have one. I have a lot of things that I want to build, but I am just short on actually completing. I still don't like the fact that I'm a little bit high on Scions, all things considered. Now, Blaze did have to level up. They had to go past the mud, so unfortunately for them, fortunate for me, but unfortunately for them, they're not going to have their fullest potential onto their team. And there we go, the Wombo combo coming on through Mammoth into the rest of my Scions. We'll be able to clean things up for now. Looking for an upgrade onto either one of my Scions when it comes to either the Mammoth or Sinolf. Or heck, how about that? Look at that absolute beautiful bench. Alright, so Adorito is here now. So this was meant to be Invoker, but I mean, it's turned into more of a Harbinger-based build. Just leveling up a Lynx at the same time, apparently. You can call it being flexible. You could call it having a lack of focus. Both are probably accurate in this instance here. Okay, energy resistance. Yes, please. How about that? Another big pickup here. It's going to be the Brawler crate coming on through, and I'm going to take the Restorating Impact Reactor again. This time, give it over to Mammoth. A little bit of extra tankiness. Go over to Goliath. We need that granite nice and quickly. Mammoth snuggle in there. Flare finally evolves. I swear it's been like that for the entire game. This is the current lobby leader. I put the tank augment onto the wrong Illuvial. But this might not punish me too badly. As long as we can actually get a hold of that Umber, we are not. We are going to be absolutely slaughtered. So there is a good chance that this 8-water Tsunami Arcanite bot coming on through might have just cooked hard enough to destroy what I'm going for. The Arcane Link still being here, I do believe, is a hindrance, so I might need to switch that out here with Squid. And then, essentially, it's time to all in. Alright, we're going to get the Mammoth directly, or rather, immediately, which is quite nice. Squid, come play. Is there any sort of energy resistance that I do need to worry about? Do not think so. This is okay, all things considered. Just missed the Adorito. That's no good. Was thinking about a switch to Invoker, but I think the 3 Harbinger might be a better choice. We at least got a couple of our Scions leveled up. Granted, I do not have them in the proper spot in terms of where the augments are. So we're going to need to pull off a big one here versus Blaze, but at least we do have a lot of immunity thanks to the 5 Scions, if not the 6 Scions, coming on through to play this time. We were able to kill off a couple of critical DPS units, and there we go. The Harbinger, specifically this Mammoth, is coming on through right when we needed it. And we are going to be able to get past Blaze for the time being. I think I locked the shop. Nope, I was too slow. Lynx, I thank you for your service, but you need to go. I have so many things built, nothing finished, so I need to make a choice quickly. Yeet Signal having Sin-Offs tells me the likelihood of me hitting Dual F is slim to none. And there is a big pickup, actually. Adorius has arrived. In fact, I might actually give my sustain augments over to Adorius. I should have sold off the squid. If I played this optimally, it would have looked something... Damn it. If I played it optimally, we would have been close. I would have been 1 coin short. Adorius is going to hang on. We do launch the Umber directly into the Water Beam and the Emberling Rod. It took a little while, but I think we finally got the team comp necessary to deal with this squad. And we have even better on the flip side. We do take care of the bot. We're now going up against Blaze, where I now have Magma here as well. Is there anything in regards to my positioning that can be absolutely butchered? I think we keep Sin-Off alive a little bit longer by having TNT kind of be the face tank with the additional granite in case the rogues jump on in. This is still Toxic Harbinger. Am I okay with that? I do think the answer is yes. So we will leave it as is. Let's see. This is going to be a big one. Blaze did manage to finally hit their mud units. But I have a massive team now to try and stop this. Sin-Off, where is your beam? Going directly into the Fernite while also going through the Exalted Monk Ear. That's exactly where it needs to be. They're also now fighting on my turf, on the Magma, where my Mammoth is in full control, sending them over and over and over again. And I don't think that Blaze is going to be able to get away with this one. The squad is just too damn tanky. And too much consistent damage. There we go. GG's Blaze. GG's Awake Darkness. Now let's see if I can actually kill this bot. Because there is no guarantees. What could they do to upgrade? They're not a Scoriops. The biggest thing that would screw me is a Dual F, which, I mean, they have no Sin-Offs on the bench, at least. So maybe I just chip away with these rolls at picking up Pistol Shrimps and picking up Squids. Because otherwise, I feel like we're pretty comfortable here. If I'm wrong, I lose. Okay, so we have these here too, actually. Okay. We've got the Piercing Force Reactor, just in case that tank starts to get out of hand. Give you an extra shield in the front line, potentially. Make you tanky. Let's start moving with some of our rolls. Okay, I'm a little bit short, but we at least collected a bunch of Pistol Shrimps. And then there's another squid on lock here. Am I confident enough that this will get the job done? I am not 100% sure. This is still going to be tough. This is still a 8 water tsunami toxic build coming out here from the bot. It might be a bot, but it does not matter. This is still a very tough squad. My Ranger hung on for a good while, but the Umber in the back line is causing a problem. Never mind, it does finally go down. It was a good choice, I think, not to go Invoker because the Mammoth is just having full control over this battlefield. And it's keeping me alive. And it's just enough to win. Holy smokes, there we go. I'm glad I did not just blindly stay Invoker, even though that was originally the game plan. It was scrappy, it was messy, it was not played perfectly, but it got the job done here today, and that I'm very pleased about. Woo! happy to end the day off with a win. And a good day overall here in the arena. So if I go back quickly and in regards to my current rank, so this now has me at 2256. I think this will just put me enough in the 24th. Sure enough, just barely above Blazin. I imagine one game and they'll be right back above me, but still. In the top 25, we're doing all right. Again, with the ranked reset right around the corner. It was definitely a fun time. I thank everybody for hanging out, but of course, this is not going to be the end of streams for this week. We do have 2 more coming up. Of course, tomorrow will be Illuvium Arena House League. As of this moment, there are 10 of you signed up, including maybe 1 or 2 new faces, which is cool to see. That'll be happening, of course, same time as our stream here today, but just 3:30 Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC. So please do make sure you want to get into a free event where you can level up your collection, get some Illuvials just for showing up and giving me your best. I'll make sure you're in a very balanced lobby, or as balanced as I could potentially get, for some awesome time. And of course, I'll commentate that as if it was a full-on esports event, just because I enjoy doing it. So that'll be the goal for tomorrow. And then Saturday, of course, will be the Ratty Data Season 2 finale for that ladder grind. Of course, players have been playing all month long for a chance to make the top 8 and play in this best of 3, where there are a bunch of Illuvials and Illuvatars available for the top 3 finishers in that series. So that'll be a fun one. We did it last month as well. It was a pretty fun time as well. Anytime we get best of 3, anytime we get actual competitive Illuvium, it's the best Illuvium, because we get full lobbies, we get like proper people contesting in regards to like the most powerful builds not being super easy to get, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So especially if you're new to Illuvium and new to the esports side of Illuvium Arena, I definitely would suggest tuning in tomorrow and on Saturday as well, because it will be a fun time and a fun experience for all. Then going into next week, the game plan will still be the same. I'm shooting for 5 days of streaming of Illuvium once again. The topics aren't necessarily locked in, with the exception of Wednesday and Friday, which of course will be this week in Illuvium and then Illuvium Arena House League. But I've been having a lot of fun with this, and as long as I'm having fun doing this, I will keep on going. Might have to take a slower week every once in a while to just kind of catch my breath a little bit. But as long as I'm having fun, we'll keep on going. So if you are happening to be new here to the channel, please do make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way it helps YouTube show that this game deserves more eyes. And it helps me out an absolute ton as well. Just like also leaving a like when you're on the way out here for today, before you do end up leaving. But that was a lot of fun. I'm glad that overall very positive day in the arena. And still much, much more to go here. Blaze, can't wait for House League. Just make sure you're signed up, because as of right now, I don't see you signed up as of this moment. If that is the plan, or if you're just tuning in, still gladly have you on there as well. And as always, big thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's been... These 5 days of streaming would be absolutely miserable if it wasn't for all of you in the chat keeping me company. Not that Illuvium's miserable, but I get how it is when you turn on the stream and then it's just an empty chat for the entire time. You can definitely get in your own head. I still get into my own head rather frequently, but all of yous in chat, of course, do make it so much better. And I thank you all for tuning in and day out, and just being here. So thank you all so much. I look forward to House League tomorrow. Lots of competitive Illuvium on the way. But for now, have a fantastic evening.
Woke up tired, didn't sleep all night. Mine's still running like a traffic light. Red for stop and green for go. I'm stuck somewhere in between them both. Brushed my teeth and checked my phone. Everyone looks like they've already grown. Smiling faces, perfect lives. I'm here asking, what am I doing with mine? I don't have a plan, I just have today. Trying not to throw the little good away. Heart still heavy, but I'm still here. taking one small step through the fear. I'm tired, but I'm not giving up. I'm scared, but I'm still showing up. One small step is enough today. I'm not fine, but I'm on my way. I'm tired, but I'm not giving up. I'm scared, but I'm still showing up. One small step is enough today. I'm not fine, but I'm on